On this episode of the Whiskey Tornado, we taste Hard Truth's Master Distillers Reserve Sweet Mash Rye. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Tornado. I'm your host, Lance. Today, we have a very cool episode for you. We are tasting through Hard Truth's Master Distillers Reserve Sweet Mash Rye. That includes their new malted rye, their caramel malted rye, and their chocolate malted rye. Now, full disclosure, if you follow the channel for any length of time, you know I have been very high on Hard Truth for a couple of years. I have been out there to visit several times. I've got to know their master distiller, Brian Smith, and I have a special place in my heart, not only for that place, but for Brian. He's a wonderful human, and I just want to see him succeed. But I'm going in to these with as little bias as I can possibly muster. For those of you that are interested, we are having Brian Smith on the channel for a live stream for a taste through of these with a couple of our patron members on February 24th. If you click on our live stream link, you will see that. Set a reminder, it's going to be a wonderful taste through. Now, when I thought about doing this review, I couldn't decide. Did I want to do each of these separately or all together? And after tasting through them, I just think this is going to be so much more beneficial to you guys. If I taste these side by side, I'll give them the Whiskey Tornado score, so it will be in our end of the year running. As you guys know, we've changed the format of the show a little bit. We will go over the scoring at the end, but we're going to go through the important things, the things people really care about right now, and that's the nose, palate, and finish. But in the end, I will give all of these a score for you guys, and you can see which one you want to hunt based on my reviews. All right, first on my left is the Master Distillers Reserve Sweet Mash Rye. This is the Malted Rye. According to Hard Truth's website, the Malted Rye Sweet Mash Rye is a remarkable expression of 100% rye whiskey, showcasing the incredible depth and richness that can only come from the malting process. It has a mash bill of 54% rye, 46% malted rye, and batch 1 is a small batch blend of 10 barrels, coming in at a proof of 112.2. All right, guys, let's get into the nose on the malted rye. Oh my gosh, this thing's amazing. These Master Distillers Reserves, all three of them are unbelievable. Getting tropical. You know, unlike the Sweet Mash Rye, this is much darker and richer to me. The Sweet Mash Rye from, batch 1, 2, and 3, the ones I've had, are a little brighter, a little more tropical. This does have some of those tropical notes, but this is, like Brian always says, very jammy, like raspberry, leather. You get that amazing butterscotch note that you only get on Hard Truth distillate. It is fantastic. I absolutely love the nose on this. I give the nose a 0.7. It's really good. All right, moving on to the palate. Oh, yeah, man. It's that red spicy jam mixed with butterscotch, a wonderful leather note in there. For 2, 3, 4-year-old whiskey, it is remarkable. I think this is 2. Honestly, there are 0 craft notes. If you guys are worried about those, grain forward notes or lots of wood, all that, there is none of that. This is such a beautiful rye. In fact, in talking with Brian, it's so perfect that they may not even have to age it much longer than what it is. It's really a gorgeous expression for the age. All right, let's take one more sip here. Man, I love what that malted rye is bringing. I will say the malted rye is darker than the regular, their first batches of Sweet Mash Rye, in that it's got this like more bready note to it. I don't want to turn people off by saying this, but it's got like a hint of what you would expect from a brewery. Just a hint, but not in a bad way, in a really good way. It's really, really nice. But that malted rye, you can tell that's there, but it's got that little bit of breadiness / craft brewery kind of thing to it. But not in a bad way. It's really beautiful. If I didn't say it, I doubt a lot of you would pick it up. But it's got all those tropical raspberry jam, leather, butterscotch notes. It's really beautiful. The malted rye palate, I would give a 0.7. It is definitely better than average. All right, let's nose the caramel malt. According to Hard Truth's website, the Hard Truth Master Distillers Reserve Caramel Malt Sweet Mash Rye Whiskey, or RW4, brings the caramel corn and sticky toffee notes of caramel malted barley to match with the whiskey's inherent sweetness and rye spice. The mash bill is 51% rye, 38% corn, 11% malted barley. RW4 Batch 1 is a small batch blend of 8 barrels and comes in at a proof of 117.4. This is where I think this gets so special. The malted rye, to me, is better than their sweet mash rye, but this is on another level. The nose is exceptional. It is like caramel, vanilla icing, like a yellow cake batter. That butterscotch is there. It's like a rich, deep, dark, buttered shortbread cookie. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. I'm going to give the nose a 0.8. All right, onto the palate. Cheers, everybody. Home run. This is a home run. Oh my God, so good. Oh, it's so good. It is so complex. You can't even hardly believe the complexity in relationship to the age. It's just so beautiful. There is deep caramel. There's butterscotch. There's even like a whisper. This is what's so beautiful to me. There is a whisper of the chocolate malted rye. There's a whisper of like espresso or dark chocolate on this. That you find in spades on the chocolate malted rye, which we'll get to, which is why I couldn't do these reviews individually. I think you had to taste through them all to see the beauty of it. Oh my gosh, just gorgeous. We're gonna take another sip. Oh man, caramel. On the tail end, there's almost a bubblegum note to it, which I absolutely love. But it's just the malted rye kicked up and just done so beautifully. I love the complexity of this. I could sit and nose and taste an ounce of this whiskey for an hour. It's beautiful the way that you have the caramel, you have those tropical notes, those jammy notes, all intertwined, and then underneath it all, there's just this little bit of cocoa espresso bean, just a slight bit of it. It's insane. The finish is insane. The palate's insane. For the caramel malted rye, we're gonna give it a 0.8 across the board. It's fabulous. You gotta chase this one down. Okay, on to the chocolate malted rye. Here we go on the nose. According to Hard Truth's website, the Master Distillers Reserve Chocolate Malt Sweet Mash Rye Whiskey, or RW3, brings the deep roasted chocolate espresso notes from chocolate malted barley to play with the sweetness of corn and the nice baking spice of rye grain. This expression has a mash bill of 51% rye, 38% corn, and 11% chocolate malted barley. RW3 Batch 1 is a small batch blend of 8 barrels and comes in at a proof at 109.6. It's just insane what Hard Truth is doing, guys. I mean, I'm more excited about Hard Truth than I am any other young distillery. This chocolate malted rye is one of the most unique things you'll smell. It is absolutely dark chocolate and espresso bean in spades. Now, I think this is so unique that I think some people might not like this. I can imagine this chocolate malted rye using this in cocktails and it being phenomenal if you're okay, putting a $75 whiskey in cocktails. But the chocolate notes and the espresso bean notes are unlike anything you've ever had. I've had a Balcones rye that had a lot of chocolate and espresso bean, but not the sweetness that this has. It was dry and good, but just different. This, I think, will appeal to more people. It is fantastic, but it's not as good as the other two for me, just because it's so unique. But if you go into it knowing the uniqueness, I think you'll love it. I'm going to give the nose on the chocolate malted rye a 0.6, just because I don't like those flavors as much as I do the other flavors. But some of you, if you like espresso bean and you like dark chocolate, this will be your jam. All right, let's go into the palate. Cheers. How? That is one of the most unique things I've ever had. And sometimes when you have unique things, it's not good. This is so fantastic. My God. I mean, I'm blown away at these three expressions, and I can't wait to have Brian on the live stream and taste through these with Patreon members so you guys don't think it's just me. That is such a good dark chocolate espresso bean note. I'm excited to throw this in some cocktails and see what we can do with it. Palate's really good. We're going to give it a 0.7. All right, guys, let's score all three of these. For those of you new to the channel, I let you guys know whether these are not bar-worthy, or maybe even bunker-worthy, meaning so good you should buy a couple extra. We have 7 categories here on the Whiskey Tornado. The first 2 are handicapped, and those are appearance and availability. When we're talking about appearance on the Hard Truth bottles, it's fantastic, super unique. Their corks are unlike anything on the market. They look like it came from actual tree bark. It's just, I love the design of these. Hard Truth did such a great job. We're giving the appearance a 0.8. And our second handicapped category, the availability, is probably a little limited. I don't think their distribution's great right now, but that could improve, and we're gonna give it a 0.3. Next, just to make this easy on you guys, we're gonna do the nose for all 3, the palate for all 3, the finish for all 3, so you guys can see which one I liked the most. I'm gonna be looking down here at my notes. The nose on the caramel malted rye, I gave a the nose on the malted rye, I gave a 0.7. It is exceptional, it's better than average, but not as good as the caramel malted rye. The caramel malted rye is a 0.8. Just has a little bit deeper flavors, more richness. And then on the chocolate malted rye, I gave that a 0.6. So on the nose, the chocolate malted rye was my least favorite, and that's not to say it wasn't good. It's fantastic, it's very unique, just not as complex. And I don't think it's going to appeal to as many people. On the palate, the malted rye, I gave a 0.7. The caramel malted rye, I gave a 0.8, which is rare category for me. It is absolutely exceptional. And if you compare it to age, it's probably the best 2-year whiskey I've ever had in my life. It is out of this world. And the chocolate malted rye, I gave a 0.7, the same score as the malted rye, just because of those chocolate espresso bean notes are just so unique and fantastic. On the finish, the malted rye, I gave a 0.7. The caramel malted rye, I gave a 0.8. It does have a little higher proof, and again, is richer. Those flavors kind of stick to your palate a little bit longer. That jamminess hangs around. And then on the chocolate malted rye, I gave it a 0.6, better than average. Not as good as the other two, just because that dark chocolate espresso is a little bit drying, but that's part of the beauty of it, so you can't knock it. I just didn't enjoy it as much as the other two, but still loved it. On the body, we gave it a 0.7 across the board. These are all non-chill filtered. They're beautiful ryes. And value at $75, we're giving all of them an even score. It's a 2-year rye, but what you're getting for the $75 is phenomenal and beats out so many allocated ryes you guys are chasing on a daily basis. Now, one category I'm adding this year is a uniqueness score, and if something is super unique, I'm gonna give it an extra 0.25 points. and this chocolate malted rye qualifies. It's so unique. There's nothing out there like it. So it got an extra 0.25 for uniqueness. And truth be told, you could probably put a unique point on all of these. There is nothing on the market that tastes like Hard Truth Rye. All right, guys, and that brings our overall score for the Hard Truth Master Distillers Sweet Mash Malted Rye to a 3.85, making it bar worthy and almost bunker worthy. Moving on to the Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye Caramel Malted Rye, that scored a 4.15, making it bunker worthy, and I absolutely believe it is. If you guys see this, you need to buy backups. And last but certainly not least is the Hard Truth Master Distillers Chocolate Malted Rye. That came in at a 3.9, almost bunker worthy. It is right there due to its uniqueness. All three of these, I think you could argue, are bunker worthy. They are fantastic. Do not judge this by the age. Judge it by what's in the bottle. Judge it by the flavor on the palate. Judge it by the uniqueness. There's nothing else out there like it. The master distiller, Brian Smith at Hard Truth, just continues to amaze me and knock it out of the park. It's probably the brand I'm most excited about in whiskey going forward. Here on the Whiskey Tornado channel, we get so many more views and comments on hard to find allocated bottles, but honestly, these are the reviews I love to do. So if you love this kind of review, please like, comment, subscribe below. Let me know what you think of Hard Truth, if you've had it, if you're looking for it. And then tune in on February 24th where we have Brian Smith on and we talk and drink whiskey. All right, guys, until next time, go find you some Hard Truth and share it with your friends. Blow them away that they have not heard of this brand. God, it's so good. So good.
Distillers.